This is for July 6th, Sunday, July 6th. We're still in the fourth week of our 6 week series into Jeremiah, and we're in Jeremiah chapter 29, the letter to the exiles. And well, after the many challenging passages of these last 3 weeks, you may have looked forward to this letter to the exiles as a more direct source of consolation. Consider, however, the ways in which this text might at first be inadequate to our present moment. For many in our country today, the exile we're experiencing is not mere captivity, but a form of extermination. Our government is wrapping up its efforts to deport people who they suspect of being illegal immigrants. The overturn of Roe versus Wade has opened the floodgates for a torrent of legislation at both the state and federal levels, which do attack the already besieged healthcare access for women. And the threat of overturning Obergefell versus Hodges looms, jeopardizing the ability for many to marry those for whom they love. And then tornadoes, wildfires, floods, and other natural disasters caused by the human-driven climate crisis have devastated, several places here in the United States this year. And, requiring insurers to jack up premiums and, even outright refusing to cover entire states. So in the face of all those headlines, how are we to find hope in Jeremiah's admonition to marry one another, to welcome children and build houses and plant gardens? See, I think perhaps we'll find our encouragement in the addendum to seek the welfare of the city. What were once words of consolation could just as easily be taken as a charge to return this nation and earth to what God created it to be. A harmonious and abundant home for all creatures and people. Jeremiah's advice on how to live in exile seems so impossible. Yet is it reasonable to conclude that we're now in the later half of this story? The time when the people are being called home? Exile can be borne so long as the image Jeremiah plants can be lived by all. And we need to remember that there's one thing that is timeless about Jeremiah's letter. And that's the hope that is found in daily life. You see, here's the deal. We need not be extraordinary heroes or knights of virtue to attain the hope our God has to offer us and to share it with others. Whenever and wherever we build relationships with others and embrace children and other forgotten people of the world and form a common lot with those who feel all hope is lost, there in our midst, we will hear God repeat the promise of plans for your welfare and not for harm, to give you a future with hope. With God, our future is always hopeful. And in the midst of God's people, that hope never need to feel very far off. Blessings on your week. What you do matters, and I'm so grateful for your partnership in the gospel.
In Christ we aspire to journey with one another